There are many ways to boost your self-esteem, so here are just a few of them. One thing is to know your own value. Just think about, what are you good at, and particularly what are you good at and find easy that other people find hard. And it seems an odd thing, but very often we underestimate the things that we find easy, and we don't value them because we find them easy. Whereas actually other people, if you just take a bit of time to notice, can sometimes find those things hard to do. And that's what can make you have something special, something of value to add. Another thing is to do what you say you're going to do. There's nothing that undermines your self-esteem more in your eyes, and also the respect that people have for you, is that if you promise something and then you don't deliver. So it's really important to make sure that when you say that you'll do something, that you can do it, that it's realistic, and that you actually do deliver, and maybe even go a bit beyond just delivering and over-deliver a bit. Another thing that can really boost your self-esteem is getting quality feedback. So what do I mean by that? Well, people are all too willing to give us feedback, and often they immediately see what's wrong with what we've done, which isn't very balanced. And so quality feedback really is when people give you feedback that they tell you what you're doing well, but they also tell you, and then they tell you what you're doing that could make it even better. And notice the words that make it even better. So it's not, well, you've done this okay, but you know what's wrong with this is this, 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 and this. So basically, if somebody's good at giving feedback, will give you specific things they think you've done well, and then perhaps one thing that would take it to the next level, and they phrase it like that. The other thing about getting quality feedback is thinking about the actual qualifications of that person to give you that feedback. Are they the kind of person who has a balanced view of the world, but sees the good as well as the not so good? And are they expert in what they do? You know, can they give you quality feedback from that point of view? So just be careful who you allow to judge you, and also how you what you do with that judgment. Another thing that will help you boost your self-esteem is to notice your successes. And what I recommend is that you actually keep a success diary and put something in there every day, because it's all too easy for us to notice when things have gone wrong, even pay far too much attention to small mistakes or things we said that were laughed at and so on. Whereas actually that will tend to help us develop a filter that's very critical, and will filter out the things we do that we do well. So to make sure you have a balanced filter, you give yourself balanced feedback. Make sure you note down your successes, and in time, if you do that every day, what will happen is that you'll have a more balanced view of yourself. So another thing to boost your self-esteem is if you're feeling doubtful about something, can I do it? Will I make a mistake? All those sorts of things. Make sure that you have a reality check. So think about, well, what are all the things that you have, or or you can do to make sure it does turn out successfully. And if there are any gaps, then make sure that you learn some things, you learn some skills, you get some knowledge, perhaps you get a mentor or a coach who can help you to make sure that your success is more guaranteed. And then have a plan B for if it doesn't go as well as you hoped it would, and make sure you learn something that's useful for the future. If something you've tried, a project or an activity that you've tried doesn't turn out as well as you wanted it to. Another tip that you can try is to give yourself a 2-minute self-appreciation break. If you're in the habit of spending hours criticizing yourself, just take a time out and just really focus on what you're doing well and what you can appreciate about yourself. About And they may be things that are to do with your personality qualities. Maybe you're kind, maybe you're helpful, maybe you're creative. Just, spread the net as wide as possible in terms of finding things you can appreciate about yourself. Learn to be assertive is another thing to boost your self-esteem. It's all too easy to get people to like us by pleasing them, and pleasing them to our own detriment, so that we don't get what we need. And often also saying yes when really we ought to say no, because we're taking on too much. So learn to be able to say no in a way that other people understand why you're doing it and that it's perfectly reasonable. And lastly, if you really want to boost your self-esteem, then get some coaching, because it really helps to have somebody who's not only supportive but can give you also good quality feedback and help you change the beliefs that undermine your self-esteem and any past experiences, and help you move forward in a more successful way. And it's the thing most successful people do, is get a coach to help them shorten the learning curve and guarantee their success. And if you're interested in finding out a bit more about that, I do offer a free coaching discovery session. Just go to my website, the URL is below, and apply for a free discovery session. It would be lovely to talk to you.